A little static going on. Welcome, welcome. Waiting for people to join. Hmm. Oh, hello, Sergio. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. How you doing? Just doing this kind of bored. But bored. Mm-hmm. Waiting for more people to join. Oh, hello. Hi. Thank you. Thank you, Rory. High five. How's it going? Waiting for more people to join. Now you can get started. How you doing? Hey, Kilroy, how's it going? By the way, I figured out how to get into my YouTube studio on my laptop, and I deleted the moderators I never see here, including Jack Skellington, simply because I let them be a moderator before I hardly ever see them on my channel. That was the only time I've ever seen them. And there's someone, I don't know who, the other day it really irked me, was deleting, timing out a bunch of people for no apparent reason, causing a big old row in my live stream. And we don't need that. So I can add those people I deleted again if, that's the nice thing to do. But yeah, I probably don't need that much. I had okay, so I deleted like 3 moderators. I don't even remember ever adding them. So that's weird. Hi there. Yes, it sure is nice out. How are you doing? Man, glad I was able to do that though, even though my access has been a little shoddy. We're not going anywhere. I just did that because no reason. No reason. Hey, Billy, thank you. Hi, don't you come out on TV? No. No. Ah, thank you. I moderate the college football channel. Some mods power trip sometimes. They sure do. You got that right. And that's why I'm really hesitant to add more mods because people will ask, even though they've only been here once, and I feel kind of bad saying no to them, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta be a little harsh, for your own good. Yeah, I have a feeling I don't really want to come out and accuse people when I'm not certain, but somebody new probably thought it would be okay to start a big row on my channel by deleting people. And I have a feeling they're just trying to jeopardize the success of my channel because they found out about my politics. And That's probably what it is. Usually when people treat me like crap on my channel, it's because of that. It's either that or they're just jerks anyway, trolls. It's okay to have a little trolling on my channel. I need the engagement. Jokes on them. They're helping my channel become more successful. But, then you have people who they know that. And so they're like, okay, so what can I do to F up this person's channel and make it so that the algorithm hates them or whatever? Oh, yeah, I can delete all their viewers and put them all in timeout for no reason. It's just like, wow. Wow, man. Like, that's just plain diabolical at best, evil at worst. I mean, like, why would you wish somebody, just because you disagree with them on something, to be unsuccessful? By the way, today I worked on one of my commissions. I finished it. Well, almost. Almost. It might be finished. I'm thinking about adding something to it. And then next, we're gonna work again on my oil painting on the live stream. And I have another commission I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna paint a portrait of Winston Churchill. So that's gonna be fun. It's a commission. I don't really know too much about Winston Churchill, to be honest. I didn't never I mean, generally, I know who he is and all that, but I never read his full history or any of that, you know. So, but a lot of people admire Winston Churchill. So, and he definitely has a um character in his features, kind of looks like reminds me of I don't know. It's hard for me to delineate. Like I don't want to say like a big baby because that's not nice, but like I don't know, he's a caricature for sure. So it's gonna be fun painting him, capturing his essence. Hey, how much do I charge for a commission? Well, it depends on the size, it depends on the medium. Oil paintings are gonna be a lot more expensive. Uh, so a watercolor will range between 275 and um 275 and 400, or just depends on the size. If it's a huge one, it's going to be a little bit more. But usually it's watercolors come in medium sizes. uh I have one watercolor sheet that is like it's huge. Okay, so that one would probably be more like 500. uh an oil painting, the one I'm selling right now, which is medium sized, was around 700. And yeah, I mean, I found that right before starting this oil painting, I also had to buy a bunch of materials, which amounted to being like hundreds of dollars. Materials. I use top notch, good quality material paints and substrate and all that. So, Hassan, are you saying that I should just stop oil painting and go find a husband? Is that what you're saying? That is stupid. I mean, do you have any idea how stupid that sounds? Oh, so I should just go meet some random man on the street. Who cares? Who cares if they're toxic or abusive or anything like that? I should just go just like any desperate cave woman would do. Is that what you want me to do? Oh, I'm sure a man would love me a lot better if I just um discarded all my skill sets. No, I think a good man would be proud to have someone with skills and hobbies and someone who knows how to paint, loves me for me. And that's just weird. That's a weird ass comment. Weird ass comment. Hassan knows best. I know. Actually, no. No, 200 is very low for my artwork. Very low. Ridiculously low. I've sold oil paintings for $1,500. I've sold two oil paintings, 30 by 40 inches, large ones, for $1,500. Now, my artwork is worth it. I go into little kind of like hole in the wall galleries where they sell their paintings for thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, my paintings are actually on the cheaper end. So you don't know anything. You know absolutely nothing. Also, if I sell my paintings for that cheap, like I'm not, I'm gonna have to spend all that $200 on more materials. Plus, no one's gonna respect my work if I sell it cheap like that. I'm not gonna cheapen myself. My work is good quality. You know, my that watercolor palette I use. Do you know how much that cost me? 300 fucking bucks. Honey based Sennelier watercolor. The best quality. In fact, the Sennelier headquarters stands across from the Louvre in Paris. It's one of the best art brands you can find. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are divided on Winston Churchill. That's why, I don't know. Like, I don't know too much about him, but I assume I'm going to learn more about him as I'm painting the portrait because I like to learn about the subject I'm painting. But yeah, a lot of people think he's badass. My brother thinks he's badass. So I don't know. I probably agree. Also, like, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. Everybody's sinned. Like Coco Chanel. I know that she's got skeletons in her closet. And a lot of people still love her and buy her handbags and all that, you know? So I don't know. I think there might be some misinformation out there. Also, I wouldn't trust what certain people say on a certain end of the political spectrum. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Let me look it up. Oh my gosh, what's it? My God, stop that. Computer's being really weird. It's just, huh? Create my account. Go away. Okay, now that's just freaking weird. Okay, oh, I just, that's not letting me X out of that. Hmm. Takes me to this weird page where they ask to put me to put my card information on. I hope I'm not getting a hacker. Hmm. Yeah, man. I've been painting my whole life since I was a child. I've been drawing and painting my whole life since I was a child. Actually, I'll tell you what comes first. Me being content within myself, uh, pursuing things I love, and with that, I'll probably find a kindred spirit who loves me for who I am. I'm not gonna, well, you saying that I should find someone who can mold me? That's probably what you're saying. I should find someone who can mold me and tell me whether I can paint or not. Huh? You don't sound like someone who respects women at all. Ew. Gross. Yikes. Sorry, but that's not what I'm about. One state? No, I've never heard of it, but I can see if it's on Steam. Okay, let's see if it's on Steam. I'm gonna try to stop vaping after this vape. No promises, though. At least popcorn lung's a myth, but still not good for you. Yeah, yeah, I'd like to try to quit it. Okay, let's see. Close window. Mm, Close window. To go away. Close window. Close window. Good grief. Okay. Steam. Oh my god. I just, like, I wish they wouldn't upload the window unless I've opened it. Okay. Hey, buddy. Hi, dear. You're a good boy. Come here. Can I have a kiss? He's a sweetheart. Sorry about the really poor lighting in here, guys. What's the stream about? Hi, Enclave. My stream is typically about addiction, recovery from addiction, and it's also about art. I sell my art. Here, let me share my information for that matter. I'm working on 3 commissions. I'm pretty much done with one of them. So I'm working on two. Let me see here. What was that game called? I've never ever heard of a vape actually detonating in someone's mouth. Wow. But I've heard of people having severe health issues, permanent health issues because of vapes they used to sell. They've probably improved them since then. I've heard, but I wouldn't trust a big ass industry where all they care about is money, money, money. Let me see here. What was okay? Mortal Kombat. I remember that playing that game on my GameCube back in the day. You know what? Fried chicken tonight. Conservatives are the ones with love, actual love in their heart and integrity. In fact, a lot of people are embarrassed to call themselves Democrats these days because the Democrats are the ones committing most of the violence, way more violence. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, you guys are the ones like the Antifa. And I know it's like you think it's like, oh, anti-fascist. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, they're all projecting. They use umbrellas to hide their acts of violence on people. Um, Charlie Kirk assassination. Um, y- y- like you guys have no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea. I mean, either they're naive or just plain corrupt or just plain stupid. The thing is, like, I get so sick. I mean, it's futile trying to reason or argue with these people because they don't listen. They just throw insults. Most of them, not all of them. I have some liberal friends who I get along with who are nice, and you know. But when I was liberal, I had conservative friends. They all treated me with love, compassion, respect, understanding. We could agree to disagree on certain things. But when I became conservative, I was super understanding. I was diplomatic. I said, like, this is what I've discovered. This is what I've realized, that there are all these misconceived notions about Trump, all these lies which have been debunked. I talked about Trump derangement syndrome, admitted that I had it. And then I got ostracized. I was told I was a danger to my family when in fact they're the ones killing people and committing all the violence. And she wouldn't even let me and it was a family member who pretended that she really respected and loved me before, simply because I was liberal. She thought I was on her side. But like, she sent me this long message telling me like I was a threat, and then she unfriended me before I could even respond. No conservative has ever treated me that way. And then other liberals, they slandered me. They talked to people about how what a terrible person I was behind my back. Like, no, absolutely not. It's night and day. And of course, the 99.9999% left wing owned media is gonna try to make it seem like the conservatives are the toxic ones, when in fact it's the other way around. The things you accuse us of are the things that you guys are doing. 100%. 100%. I was liberal for 10 years. And and I did a lot of research. I considered both sides. And just after watching a lot of left wing platforms, I realized that I can't agree with them anymore. And I realized just how sus they are and how corrupt their institution is. They refuse to use the word illegal in terms of immigration. They want it to make it seem like we're like the NAZIs, and that we're all into like eugenics and nationalism and like get everybody out of our country, which is not true. If you're legal, if you come to our country legally, you're more than welcome with open arms. But if you come illegally, then that just opens the doors for crime, G grape, and all this other shit that's been going on when Joe Biden was in office. But no one cared about that. Not a single left wing person said a damn thing about the women who were raped by illegal immigrants who come here, set up scam centers, and are supported by leftist politicians while hardworking Americans struggle to survive. Meanwhile, they're getting freebies left and right. No, it's so that they accumulate more illegal immigrants who will definitely vote for them so that they can stay. You don't understand that this is a whole system they're setting up. Like, the Black Lives Matter movement. The movement itself, I agree with the idea behind it. But then when you look more into it, you realize that all that funding went to the higher ups who started that movement. It's going to their mansions, it's not going to Black people. Everybody, or most people, realize that it's a corrupt institution for rich people to get richer. And they don't say anything about what Trump has done for the Black community, which has been far more than any other president in my lifetime. He has done way more for the Black community than anyone in my lifetime. But of course, just go ahead, spread lies. Spread lies because it makes you look good. It suits your agenda. It suits your narrative. And more people are waking up, just like I did. And I'm glad, very glad. A lot of people say that they don't even swing left or right. And I believe that's a former Democrat right there saying that, who's ashamed of their party. They don't want to see their conservative because they still have a prejudice towards conservatives, but also they can see all the violence that's going on their side. So, like okay, so my dad were driving today. Like my dad was driving me somewhere today, and we were right behind some car with a bumper sticker that said, "I'm neither left, I'm neither right. I just want for people to get along," something like that. Something like that. I just want peace, whatever. And I'm like, I completely agree. Like, people just want to think of things in black and white terms, keep us divided. And, I mean, I was like, yeah, that person's probably a former Democrat who's absolutely disillusioned and appalled and ashamed of their own party. Oh, good grief. Yeah, you see, some people just like, nah, 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 can't hear you, can't hear you. Children. I'd rather lose some fake friends, weed out the fake, toxic friends who, fair weather friends, whatever, than forfeit my integrity. I'd rather be educated. I'd rather know the truth. You guys still think that Trump said, "Oh yeah, like um the Proud Boys were good people or whatever." When he said there are good people on both sides, he said there are good people and there are bad people on both sides of the spectrum. And I've said the same thing, but of course you guys want to twist Trump's words or any conservative's words around to suit your agenda, to suit your narrative, to make them seem bad. You know, the whole Russia collusion hoax, a hoax. 100% not true. Calling him a king, not true. It's terrible people asserting that. Terrible people, evil people. They don't want him in power because he's exposing them. All those people in Hollywood against Trump, they're so afraid of getting exposed. They are so afraid of being exposed. A lot of them were with Diddy, with Epstein, you name it. The reason why Ellen DeGeneres moved out wasn't because moved to England or wherever, isn't because of Trump. It's because she freaking dyed her hair. It's because um she's with Diddy and she's very much connected to Epstein. I'll just say allegedly because of YouTube, but it's true. Anywho, yeah, when you know, you know, and I know that most people's minds can't really be changed. They just, they'd rather um make enemies or, keep on trucking with their own preconceived notions. Whatever. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I really don't give a single shit what you think. Sorry, I forgot the name of that game you suggested. I got all distracted there, dude. The Russian collusion hoax. You guys thinking that he's conspiring with Russia. That was all a hoax. And some people actually still believe that because they want to. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. They want to believe it's true. Make believe. Nah, 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 can't hear you. Don't care about what's true or not. Only care about what makes me nice and cozy and my own preconceived notions. No one's kicking out immigrants. People are deporting illegal immigrants. Okay, stop with the gaslighting. Stop with the lying in general. It's illegal immigrants, okay? Immigrants in and of themselves, legal immigrants, are welcome with open arms. Trump's the first lady is an immigrant. There are many immigrants here who are here hardworking and whom Trump supports because they're legal. They came into our country respecting our country, caring about our country enough to come here legally, let alone learn the language. No one's shooting them. Who's shooting them? No one's shooting them, you liar. No one's shooting them. The only people shooting people lately are the far leftists. Trump has had more assassination attempts than any other president in history. Well, at least in my lifetime and my dad's lifetime. In history. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. Yeah, four of them. Four attempts. Huh. So let me get this straight. If one police officer does something terrible and corrupt, does that make them all bad? If one woman does something bad and corrupt, does that make all women bad? If one hairstylist cuts someone's hair, gives them a big ass bald spot on top and then a bunch of little strands, does that make all hairstylists bad? If one, obviously in any group there's gonna be a bad egg. I don't know much about that situation. I should look into it. But regardless, I don't really care because there's gonna be bad eggs left and right. They should be fired if they're gonna break rules, if they're gonna go to that extreme. I don't know the whole entire situation, what happened there, what the threat was, or whatever. You know, some police officers are allowed to use lethal force when their lives are threatened. I don't know what the situation was there, but just because one of them does something bad, which is probably going to happen at some point, that does not mean that they're all bad and it should be abolished. Because for the most part, they're doing a lot of good, you know? We went from having 77,000 illegal immigrants coming over our border to zero. I mean, crime was at an all-time high. Now look at Washington, D.C. It's safer than ever. Like you guys, like a lot of you guys just don't care about the safety of Americans, man. You'd rather we were G grapes, homeless on the street, while they're all getting taking our tax dollars and getting freebies. That's what you would rather have. In the meantime, those Hollywood celebrities preaching and all that, they don't care. They live in their mansions like Billie Eilish. Like, oh, no one's illegal on stolen land. And when in the meantime, she's getting into a lot of trouble for being on stolen land and running her stupid mouth. Which is just disappointing because I actually kind of like Billie Eilish's music. I kind of thought she was really talented. And, when someone, it's like, who cares? Who cares? Just like super ignorant. Mm. Wait, remember that one thing that one ICE officer did? Okay, so it means all of them are bad. The whole institution needs to be abolished. That's just so dumb. Really. Seriously. Yeah, okay, so this one person adopted a dog and abused their dog, hurt their dog. Does that mean no one should be able to adopt a dog? Like, God, man. Let's see. What do you watch? Do you like do you watch CNN or what? you have um you have people in California, Minnesota, and elsewhere making millions of dollars off of taxpayer money to run these scam centers, which they portray as being like hostels, child daycare centers. They'll have a sign on the door that's spelled wrong, even though it's like an education center. When really you go in there and there's this. I watch a lot of Nick Shirley. Okay, I like Nick Shirley. It's just an eerie place. He went there and he's like, okay, I need a place for for someone to watch my kid. Oh no, you can't do that, there's no children there, nothing. They call it a child's daycare center, but that's not what it is. It's a scam ring. Because we're talking about something kind of serious, that's why. What do you want me to be, a bimbo? You want me to be oh, you fucking hate. Oh, will. That's probably what you want. Oh, will. That's what you want. You want me to be like you know, anime girl. Oh, will. Okay, someone's probably jerking it now. Spanking the monkey. Throwing the sausages. What? Okay, okay, okay. Enough. I like Ace Ventura. I've watched that movie. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Just don't show your feet, lol. Yeah. How about my hands? Can I show my hands? I used to have nicer looking hands. They're actually kind of gnarly now. I got round ass knuckles. You see that? Got round knuckles, man. I don't know why I have round knuckles, whether it be from just working with my hands all my life, or that's probably what it is, you know. Doing a lot of handiwork, whether it be working outside or working with my art or working at the cafe or whatever, man. My hands are rough. I used to get real compliments for my hands. Like even my mom would. I remember we were at a Christmas Eve when I was really little, like 10 years old, and my mom held up my hands in front of everyone. And says, "Doesn't she have the nicest hands? She's gonna have like model's hands." Not. No, 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 no. They would never. Oh, dude, I have a cut on my hand. But yeah, they'd never accept my hands because of these round ass knuckles and because of the scars on my hands. I got a scar right here. I got like burn scars from cooking. I guess to be a hand model, you gotta really take care of your hands, man. I guess I could never do that. And my fingernails are pretty ruddy too. Sean Strickland. I thought I had like almost Keith Richards' hands. Have you ever seen Keith Richards' hands? This part of his hands looks like my knuckles. This part is like all like super round and knobby. Let me show you Keith Richards' hands. And I love Keith Richards, don't get me wrong, but his hands are ruddy, knobby. From doing all that guitar, man. But when I look at my hands, I just think, yeah, these hands show a history. of hard work and painting and doing things that I love. So I have no regrets over my hands. As long as they're functional, I'm grateful. When I was at the worst of my heroin addiction and I could not find any veins in my arms, I was going for my fucking hands. Can't believe how stupid that was. I was going for my hands. Because I didn't care about anything else other than getting that, finding a vein. And that could have caused in fact, it's caused a tiny bit of nerve damage. It's all the nerve damage in my hands come back because it was just a little nerve damage. But I remember I was having a hard time with my grip strength for a while after all that. That could have wrecked my ability to hold a pencil right. The one thing I'm really good at, it could have wrecked. So I'm really, really glad I quit. That's one of the many reasons why I quit heroin. One of the many reasons. I mean, even then, I was thinking to myself, dear Lord, I'm not going to be able to ever, if and when actually I try to quit this thing, I might not be able to paint anymore. And that would be devastating. That's always been my worst nightmare, losing my right hand. The one thing that's been good to me, you know, giving me something, giving me something to do, to use. I can't imagine, man. Like, does insurance even cover bionic hands? Does it cover that? I doubt it. I'll bet it would cost a fortune. I don't know what would happen if I lost my right hand. Might have to try to learn how to paint with my feet. Some people do, and it's very inspiring, actually. When someone loses a limb, they adjust, they adapt, and they learn to play guitar with their toes. Man, dude, like that's so inspiring to me. But yeah, I don't want to ever get to that point. Some people even use their mouths, like that guy in the that polio machine. What was it called? Like when people had polio. What was it called, man? What are those machines called? It's like a tank where your head's sticking out and it breathes for you. God, what was it called? There was only, I think that, I don't know if he's still alive, but there was one guy who still lives in one of those things. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Um, Iron Lung. The iron lung. There's one more iron lung. One more person out there using an iron lung. Dude, I mean, imagine living like that. But this guy, he wrote books with his mouth. He used his mouth to write, to do everything. He didn't have hands. He basically didn't have a body. He was always lying there. And like, you should see him. His face is just beet red from all the blood rushing to that area. This is super inspiring. Just imagine living that way your whole life. Like if I think I have it bad, like, geez, think of that guy and how he has to live. Let's see. An Emerson iron lung dude from the 50s. An iron lung is a type of negative pressure ventilator, a mechanical respirator which it encloses most of a person's body and varies the air pressure in the enclosed space to stimulate breathing. It assists breathing when muscle control is lost or the work of breathing exceeds the person's ability. Need for this treatment may result from diseases including polio and botulism, and certain poisons, for example, barbiturates and tubocuranine. Wait, sorry, tubocurarine. The use of iron lungs is largely obsolete in modern medicine as more modern breathing therapies have been developed. And due to the eradication of polio in most of the world. In 2020, however, the COVID-19 pandemic revived some interest in them as a cheap, readily producible, that's crazy, readily producible substitute for positive pressure ventilators, which were to be outnumbered, sorry, I'm kind of dyslexic, feared to be outnumbered, I got it from my dad, feared to be outnumbered by patients potentially needing temporary, artificially assisted respiration. The iron lung is a large horizontal cylinder designed to stimulate breathing in patients who have lost control of their respiratory muscles. The patient's head is exposed outside the cylinder while the body is sealed inside. Air pressure inside the cylinder is cycled to facilitate inhalation and exhalation. Devices like the drinker, Emerson, and both respirators are examples of iron lungs, which can be manually or mechanically powered. Small versions like the Kiris ventilator and jacket ventilator enclose only the patient's torso. Breathing in humans occurs through negative pressure, where the rib cage expands and the diaphragm contracts, causing air to flow in and out of the lungs. It's crazy. Hmm. Okay. The first widely used device was the iron lung developed by Philip Drinker and Louis Shaw in 1927. Okay. With the first clinical use being used in 1928. 1927 was when my grandma was born. My grandma, when I lived with her for 4 months before she passed away, she told me all these stories about her life, like she was just going back in time. Like I knew she was going because she was going through her whole life, like going back in time. She opened an old treasure chest and told me stories about every object in that treasure chest. And she told me when she was 4 years old, she watched the invention of a sliced bread machine. She watched the invention of sliced bread, and she'd go gazing through the shop window, watching the machine slice the bread, and it was like so mesmerizing to her. It was like magic. Imagine, man. Imagine how that must have been for her and people back then. Just sliced bread, you know? We just take these things for granted, dude. Um, God, jeez, being bedridden sounds terrible, man. That be glad you don't have to live in an iron lung, dude. Um, thank God for the polio vaccine. Yeah, iron lung. This is kind of cool looking though. This is an iron lung from the 50s. Your head would be sticking out of there. Sorry. Mute. Uh, Iron lung from the 50s in the Gütersloh Town Museum, Gütersloh, in Germany. Fewer than a dozen of these breathing machines are available to the public, huh? Gosh, I wonder how much that would even cost. A drinker iron lung. Hmm, crazy. And just imagine if one of those things just malfunctioned. This guy here. Like, you see, okay, I'm not gonna play this because I'm worried I'm gonna get copyrighted, but this is that guy who the last guy who's using an iron lung. I don't know if he's still alive today, but look at how red that man's face is from the blood rushing to his head. But you know, that guy, he is a legend. He has written books. He became a lawyer, believe it or not. Like, he became a lawyer. He's more successful than I'll ever be. And he lived his whole entire life in that thing. So, yeah, I don't really think I have a right to complain about anything. Hmm. Yeah, it is scary, isn't it? This this guy samurai said, "What's this country?" I was just trying to get clear. Said Confederate rebels are what's wrong with this country. I was just trying. Yeah, well, those are terrible people, but they're very few and far between. Like, of course, the media is going to try to make it seem like that's all conservatives are on their side and all that, but um, yeah, it's actually not common. And people don't like, no one likes those people, or most people don't. They really try to exaggerate it, like it's happening more, like just like they're trying to make it seem like racism is more than a lie, but really, in fact, they're really trying to make everybody think that they're racist. There's this I forget who it was. It could have been like Blair White, but I'm not sure, but she took this, or someone took this quiz, this that they had to pass, and one of the questions was like basically and told them that they were racist without giving them the option of saying that they weren't. Like, oh no, you're a racist. You're definitely racist. And why are you racist? Like, I forgetting, paraphrasing, I forget exactly how it was um expressed, that question, but it's weird. It's weird how people want to bring to life that when in fact these institutions are more than racist towards against white people these days. It's ridiculous. They're the ones that see color and obsess over color, and discriminate based on color. I forget what it was. I'll have to find it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these liberal institutions are trying to make everybody think that they're racist, even if they're not, you know? Like, I only care about if you're a good person. I don't care what color you are. And I think it's sick for people to, try to promote this idea that we're all just like our ancestors from the 16, 17, 1800s, you know? We're all, we all have racism in us because it's fully inherently embedded. And that's definitely not true. I've never understood that. He has more blood in his face than his whole body. I know, right? Mm, samurai. Yeah, and Trump has done more for the black community than any other president in our lifetime, at least. But of course, nah, can't hear you. Doesn't work for their agenda. Makes them look like liars. Yeah, he's a strong, capable president. He's been doing more. The one thing I'm disappointed about, though, is how the Epstein files are being handled. But I don't know what exactly is going on there, or what's going on behind the scenes. I do know, however, that when Trump's name is mentioned in those files, it's because Epstein is conspiring among his associates to end Trump, to get blackmail him, to get rid of him, because he was exposing them before it was mainstream news. But of course, oh, he's in the Epstein files. Oh no, that means like, dude, that means everybody ever seen in a photo of Epstein is guilty then. No, no. Epstein, associated with rich people, celebrities, socialites, you name it. Doesn't mean they're all guilty of going to that island and doing what he did. And certainly not Trump, because he ended uh, his association with Epstein. He ended not he wasn't even friends with him, but he ended that whole thing with Epstein. He didn't want anything to do with Epstein because he found out about that island, and he spoke out about what a weirdo, what a creep Epstein was. And that's why in the files, they're all trying to plan Trump's demise before they can get exposed. You can find that for yourself. It's free for the public to see. Dude, no, no, no. You guys are a cult. You guys are the true definition of a cult, you see. Because when I was liberal, I was friends with some conservatives. Liberals treated me like, oh my gosh, like I love you. But then as soon as I said, I think I was wrong about a few things, I realized that all these assumptions about Trump are lies. And like this and that, things that I've mentioned here, 99% of me is owned by the left, blah, 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 blah. And then they canceled me. They slandered me. They tried to make me lose my job. They tried to make me lose everything because of that. My family member ostracized me. No conservative ever treated me that way. And when I was liberal, very liberal, I I don't know about very liberal, but I was liberal, and I had like I had, let's see, one, two, three, four conservative friends. My hairstylist, who was my friend, she's conservative. My guy who hung out like at the cafe the whole time I worked there, who was always a good friend to me and still is. He's conservative. This girl who was a former addict but now is doing great and is super strong and supported me so well. She's conservative. And um, who was that other one? Gosh, I was just okay drawing a blank. But I have another conservative friend, and they were my friends through thick and thin. Like the definition of a cult is that you can join, they want you to join, but you can't leave without them trying to ruin your life, if not end you. And that's how the left is acting right now. You guys are acting like a cult, you know? If I was a conservative, people would let me go. They'd be okay with it. They'd probably think I'm in, you know, they would probably would disagree with me, you know? Um, but I certainly wouldn't go to the left. If I were to go anywhere, it would be either to conservative or just kind of in the middle. But I've never been treated badly by a conservative. And I've had many conservative friends, even when I was liberal for 10 years, you know, they love me for who I am. Whereas liberals, they see me as an asset. And when I don't bend over for them, when I don't kiss their asses and rah rah whatever they want me to rah rah, then they hate me, and they try to ruin my life. That's what Scientologists do. You leave their cult, and they make you disappear. Well, these people, they slandered me. They tried to tarnish my reputation. They told me I was a danger to my freaking family, even though they're the ones committing all the violence. Yeah, good grief, it's night and day. That's why I said, and it's on many uh, things, like you guys accuse people of the same things that you do. Good grief. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We are human beings first and foremost, but they don't see that. They don't see that. If you're conservative, they think you're basically an NAZI, dude. They think that they're fighting the Nazis. They think they're fighting World War II again. It's all lies. They want it that way. They want it that way. They want to be big and tragic and to be the heroes when in fact they're ignorant. And they're propagating violence more than anything. And they like it. You know? They, they want tragedy and victimhood and all this other shit in their otherwise boring ass lives. Yeah. Oh man, you know what? Weed does sound nice. Maybe I'll ask for a bud. I have nothing against weed. Well, oh yeah. So yeah, I worked on my painting today, did a bunch of chores. Surprised no one said anything here about something else. Something else. Look, guys, look. Notice anything different? Do you notice anything different? I don't know if you notice anything different here, because no one said a darn thing. Thought you might say something about it. Boop boop ba doo. Yeah, I got new hair. Bingo. It's so much better, guys. Especially in the summer. Like even in the winter, I don't know what it is, but ever since I was little, actually, I would say ever since I wore a headgear when I was 11. I cannot stand the feeling of my hair touching my neck. It's just kind of itchy, especially in the summer. It feels hot and annoying. And I just think this haircut looks better on me. I just think it looks better. You know, it makes my hair look a little healthier and thicker and bouncier, you know. My hair tends to lay flat, especially when it's hot and sweaty. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I did look at my YouTube analytics, and while it used to be, I mean, it's like 85% men view my channel and 15% women view my channel. That's what it says now. It used to be 5% women. No kidding. I don't know why that is, though. Might be because, well, I've heard that more guys struggle with addiction. That could be a part of it, but I'm not sure. Mm. Just putting some stuff away. It looked better, thank you. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the average citizen of Iran doesn't want to be living in their oppressive regime, and they're very grateful for Trump's help, actually. They don't want all the oppression. They probably want to go back to what it was before, like in the 70s. Remember? Have you ever seen photos of Iran from the 70s when women were allowed to dress like we do and have their hair down and everything and, do things that women love to do? Whereas now they're like, you know, they're forced to dress in such a way so that, like, so other men don't ever look at them. Or, like, yeah, it's gross. You know what I'm talking about. Of course you do. Like, everyone knows what I'm talking about. I don't need to elaborate on that. I don't want to get into trouble or anything, but it's like, yeah, people from Iran, the general population, same with Cuba, same with a lot of these communist countries too. They're very great. They want Trump to come in and do something about that and help them out, put a stop to this tyrannical dictator, communist regime that they're under. Where outside in the general population in Cuba, You have all the cars are from the 50s, all everything like hasn't advanced since then. There's no light, there's no chickens, you don't have eggs. And then you go over to where the elites are in this one section, and it's like night and day. It's like r- I forget what it's called, but remember Breaking Bad, that one scene where Gustavo Fring had to watch his friend get shot and thrown into a pool. It was like near this pool in this big mansion, kind of like that big, like multi-millionaire estate with lights, with good food, and all the new modern things. No, they want it. Yeah, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's how communism always ends, because I mean, on paper, it might seem like a good thing, but then you realize what human nature is, and there are people who will abuse power and take it all for themselves, while the rest of us struggle and fight. And it's best to have a free market economy, and to have incentive to advance in life. Like, it's not right for like a heart surgeon to make as much as someone who cleans toilets, because then no one's gonna want to be a heart surgeon, or no one's gonna want to do a good job at it. And I mean, who wants a heart surgeon who doesn't care about, like, they only care about their paycheck, and getting home? Like, no one's gonna want to be a heart surgeon. They would rather clean toilets because that's easier, you know? Like, who's gonna want to go through medical school if you're gonna make the same amount as someone who, oh, I don't know, washes windows? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Don't listen to AOC or whatever. I used to be a Bernie girl, by the way. Yeah. I thought he was like kind of independent, but no, no, he's all for communism. Like, no, none of these people are like Bob Dylan from the 60s or whatever. None of them are like Martin Luther King. None of them are like that. No. All of them live in mansions. All of them want it all for themselves, while acting like they're one of the grassroots, fight for the people, blue collar. No, you're not. Hi. I can clean cars and make 1,500 a week. That sounds nice, actually. I wouldn't mind making that much. Honestly, I really don't care about making too much money. It would be nice, but like, if I could make just enough to be able to move out, buy my own place, eat well, eat healthy, and afford my painting materials and stuff. Have a little bit on the side for funsies. That'd be nice. I don't need to be excessively rich. I feel like people who get super super rich like that, most of them, not all of them, but most of them are more, it's not so much the money itself and what they can buy, but the power behind it. Like, some people are just addicted to power. I'm not saying all, but some, a lot of them. That's why there's all this hoarding of resources. Yeah. Keep it up. 8 years clean from heroin. Oh, man. Back at you, dude. Congratulations. Have a son on the way in 3 weeks. Got married the past year. Found Jesus. God bless you and keep your head up. Well, that's super inspiring to me, man. The longer I'm single, the more my confidence diminishes, the more reclusive I become, the more I start to doubt myself. The more I start to tell myself that I'm okay here, and that I should be doing my duty here, kind of helping my helping my dad out and all that, which I want to do, but like I'm 35. I have to kind of have to get it going. I have to move ahead. It's not like I can't come over here and help him when he needs my help and all that. It's like that's normal, you know? But yeah, I'm just kind of I'm awkward too, dude. Like I'm really awkward when it comes to dating. I think I have to click with someone. I have to have chemistry with them. I think it just has to happen naturally per happenstance, which is why I'm looking to join a meetup group or something somewhere where we have like interests and we you know, can get to know people just in person, because I'm a little intimidated by the thought of dating these days. But I would just like for things to happen naturally, without my even looking for it necessarily. Every time I try to look for it, it just never works out. It's hard for me to find someone I truly feel like I have chemistry with. This one, and I know that when I have chemistry with someone, I actually pursue them myself. And I'm a bit of an old soul too. Like, of course, I'm not gonna try to go for someone with a big age gap, but I have a bit of an old soul in terms of just my interests and even my personality a little bit. Sure, there are a lot of people in my age group kind of like that too, of course. You know, they're a little bit old fashioned in some ways. Thank you, guys. It's normal to doubt. Yeah, it sure is. I'm 33 years clean from heroin, meth, and crack. Well, congratulations, Shane. Oh, man, that's impressive. You see, everyone, we prove that we do recover. Welcome to my channel. You guys are so welcome here, and we need more people like you here. Proving to everybody that we're not always junkies once a junkie. You know? People like to say it. I don't know what their point is. Like, so if someone's gonna say to me, once a junkie, always a junkie, like, okay, so what do you want to happen? Do you want for me to go and use to confirm your assertion here so that you can rub it in my face and say, told you so? You know? It's like, why do people say that? Why wouldn't someone try to lift a person up and try to, you know, give us encouraging words, try to inspire us to continue on with our journey of sobriety or staying clean from drugs? It's like what is saying to someone once a junkie always a junkie do? It makes makes someone who's naive or on the edge or about to break. It might make someone who's really struggling think, well, what's the point? Might as well do it now if I'm gonna do it eventually. Like, don't ever listen to people like that. I've had people say really mean things to me like that just because they didn't like me. It's like, whatever, whatever. They don't know anything. And coming from a person, I don't know if they've ever used drugs or what, but it's like, what do they know about your life? What do they know about my life? We're proving them wrong. I know people who were former addicts and they've been clean 30 years just like you. And there's some of the most thoughtful, kindest, most intelligent people I know. Good with reading, writing, art, good artistic sensibility, very articulate, very worldly wise, kind to animals. For anyone to want someone like that to fail, it means that Like I have a feeling when people are like that, they can see that you're a good person and and it reflects on them what they're lacking, though, which means that they're not as strong as you. They're not as kind as you. So they want to bring you down. Don't ever let them do that because there will be people like that. And they do it to me, they'll do it to you. I've seen them do it to others. Just keep your head up. I'll tell you what a big triumph is. It's proving those assholes wrong. I love proving those assholes wrong. I tell you what. It's the ability to stay the course. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you very much, man. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Halil, thank you. Greetings from Istanbul. Oh, Istanbul is so pretty. I would love to visit there. I saw that I was just talking about this documentary I watched in 2017 called Kedi, and it was about the stray cats of Istanbul. Such a beautiful documentary. I highly recommend it. Beautiful. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, Halil. I never had any intoxicated substance in my whole life. I'm not even having alcohol in my whole lifetime of 28 years. Well, you're lucky, man. I wouldn't recommend starting. It doesn't really, you're better off without. I'll tell you what, you're way better off without. Doesn't do anything to advance us. It kills off brain cells. It impedes progress in life. I would have gotten a lot further without that. I'll tell you what. You're 35 years off tar? Well, congratulations, Donaldo. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Shoru. Yes, you're lucky and don't start. She's telling you the truth. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much, Farad. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. To recover is to realign, a course correction. Yep, that's definitely a good way to look at it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a good time to, open a new chapter and, try new things. Yeah, our brains, like I said, our brains crave novelty, learn a new instrument, exercise. That's super good for your brain. Meditation, try yoga. Um, Join a group of people who do healthy activities. Like me, it could be a fitness group, it could be a swimming group, it could be art, could be music, you know, it could be hiking. I love hiking. Can join a group of people who love to go fishing. I've always wanted to go fishing. I've gone fishing only like 2 times in my whole life when I was a kid. And I would love to get into that. When I went to Wallawa Lake one time with my ex back in the day. And we were over by this stream with a bridge over it. All these, I think they were salmon or trout, but we were catching them with our bare hands. And eventually he caught one really quickly. He somehow knew how to catch one real quickly. It took me a while because those fish are like a freaking mussel. They wriggled out with such force. I must have captured an injured one because eventually I did. I did use a little bit of tactic though. I would lure it into the shadows and catch it from behind. But I did catch a fish with my bare hands and it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Halil. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, man. What part of Oregon am I from? Where am I from? Where am I from? Well, I don't want to disclose too much. I'm just gonna say I'm from Oregon. Sorry. It wouldn't be very wise of me to disclose too much, especially considering the amount of people who, or I mean, not many people disagree with me, but some do severely. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I don't trust, like, it's not like I have trust issues or anything. It's just, yeah, I'm not gonna let, give anyone else the opportunity to pinpoint my exact location. Some people will. They'll like gauge the my exact location by the architecture around the house. I got to be careful about that. But yeah, I'm from Oregon. Nothing wrong with me saying that. I've seen other YouTubers and influencers saying stuff like, "Oh, I live in Texas. I live in so and so." It's like, they're okay. But yeah, I would never, tell you where I'm exactly like the city or anything. That would not be smart. I wouldn't suggest you do that either. Recovery sometimes requires rest. Yes, indeed, it does. Absolutely. Absolutely. Got to give yourself patience, time to heal. I think meditation is great because our minds can be just so anxious, just racing thoughts, wanting to get up and feel something. But but actually, you don't want to feel anything. You don't want to feel, you don't, you want to escape your feelings, or at least I did. And, it's best to try to heal. You got to kind of learn to live with those feelings, those natural human feelings. And there are some ways to sort of mm, mellow it out. Drink some chamomile tea, meditate, talk to a good friend, might make you feel satisfied afterwards. I think it's that lack of feeling satisfied. Thank you very much, Ferrat Carpine. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Dreams are crazy too. Still have using dreams all the time. Yeah, that's that's something I have a hard time with. That's why early on in my recovery, especially, weed actually does help. That's why I have absolutely nothing against weed because it prevents drug dreams. Granted, when I stopped smoking weed for a month, I was only having good dreams. In fact, I could read one of those dreams to you because I kept a dream journal. Let me get that. It's right up here. So everybody, sorry, don't tap on your big tails. You're such a sweetheart. God, I'm sweating. Okay, so this is my dream journal. So let me read to you this dream I had, the last dream I had before I picked up weed again. So, okay. Okay, so the first dream I had on March 9th was my dog Shando and I was in a video game running from the bad guy. I had to use a console command, T detect, to escape. Um, ran through various rooms undetected. Okay, I didn't finish that one, but let's see. Dream 2 is even better. I've had at least 3 dreams, which I've vaguely remembered. This was on the 13th, I think. I've had at least 3 dreams, which I vaguely remembered, but I failed to write them down. None of them compare to the fantastical dream I had just last night. Shando, me, accompanied by my family, even my somewhat estranged sister came. We visited a magnificent, marvelous indoor theme park. Or was it even that? Some elements strange, some curious. I can hardly describe on paper. So much aquamarine. We found ourselves in a lobby where my two slightly younger sisters greeted us. I was so happy to see them. The room and all of the ones following were aquamarine, dark teal in hue, casting a transparent sheen. The greatest of all the rooms was filled with several feet of crystal clear water, with giant rocks here and there upon which to sit or to land. Covered in moss, I sat with Shando upon one of the highest of them, and my sisters joined. Now here's the best part. Colossal magical carp, the size of boats, floated through the atmosphere, lazily swimming to and fro. One, two, three. There were also smaller fish that would fly out of the water and land on our little island. One of them ate my phone. I only thought of my device because I wanted to take a photo of this magnificence, but I couldn't find it till I saw it inside the translucent belly of one of the smaller fishes. Down below, we spotted a person at an easel, painting us as we peered down curiously. Shando sat next to me. My sister sat together. One that, sorry, on that's one small island in the middle of an indoor lake, as giant carp circled above and around. In another room, also filled with several feet of clear water, there were mountains of clean laundry. I remember climbing the piles and remarking, "You would think that it would smell of mold in here." At one point, my mom had us go home because we needed to do laundry. I remember asking if we'd be back later that same day, and she said yes, but then I woke up. That was such a fun dream, dude. That's one of those dreams where I can only hope that Shando's not going to wake me up in the middle of it to need to go potty. Sometimes I'm having a dream and then Shando wakes me up and I'm like, no. That actually happened with the video game dream. He needed to go out. And I was thinking, no, that's the first dream I've ever had since, like, ever. I don't even remember the last time I had a dream before that. Hmm. You dream almost every night? Lucky. I think dreams are such good inspiration for making art and painting. I used to, that's why I like to write down my dreams because I think that they can make a really good painting. I have this whole image in my head. Same with when I listen to some music, especially classical music. I start to envision this story that begins to unravel or a scene, you know? I love that. My friend at the cafe and I, we used to talk about classical music a lot, and he used to always recommend really good classical music to me, like Telemann and who was that other one? Arvo Pärt. And the music used Arvo Pärt used to make me cry because I would just imagine this beautiful sort of Monet impressionistic scene with, where and this is when I was an addict too, and I was just thinking about a beautiful, free, sun-basked landscape where we're all just free and, and there's life and we're just filled with nothing other than the joy of being alive. So yeah, I mean, that's another reason why I want to be clean and stay clean because I'm grateful that I'm alive and I'm grateful I have God in my heart now and I'm grateful that I've had such dear friends who've always been super supportive and loyal and helpful towards me, inspiring towards me, accepting of me. Even if I lied to them, even if I deceived them, they still stand by my side and they're still understanding and supportive. So it's very, shall we? I think we should. Hey guys, thank you. I need a mic. Okay, let's set up that mic. I think we had it at just the right volume the last time. Let me get that. Where'd I put it though? Ah, oh gosh, I wish my light worked. Hmm. Did I drop it here? I always keep it over here. What the heck? Huh. Great. Oh dear Lord. Dark. Hmm. I mean, I did clean in here a little bit, but not much. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I have a little light here. Let me turn this on. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Get up. Okay. There we go. There's a little lighting. Tiny bit. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Hey. Okay. I have the like privacy screen protector on my phone, so I thought my phone was dead or something. Yeah. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Mm, okay, now I gotta look around for my microphone. I can't find it. Hmm. Well, well, well. So there. Good grief. I'll find it. I need to clean my room anyway. What time is it right now? 9:30. Yeah, we're probably gonna have a shorter live stream anyway, unfortunately, because it is getting a little late. I'd like to start getting to bed at an earlier hour. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know why I can't find my microphone here. I thought I had it. Hmm, that's lame. Sorry, guys. Next time, okay? I'm sorry if the sound isn't as good. I'll try to speak up a little bit. Eh, okay, well, maybe look it around, look around, retrace my steps a little bit, okay? Let's see what we can find here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna find it though. There's just so much crap. Yo, you know what I got on eBay a little while back? And I'm kind of excited. Actually, I'm really excited to use it. It's I got some doll paint. Yeah. So so that I can add a little more blush to my dolls, add some blush, some rouge to the knees and all that. I haven't even really looked at it yet. Now this looks okay, so it's opaque, huh? Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, that's white paint. So I was thinking about getting a doll that I can experiment on and go to town, you know? That's gonna be so much fun. I've always wanted to um customize a doll. It'd be so cool. Okay, okay, so that's like skin tone right there, I guess. Ooh, I can use this packing material for my paintings. I like to save this stuff. Keep my painting from getting scratched in the boxes. Hmm. Where on earth did I put that little black box, dude? Huh. I'll find it. I'll find it. I know I had it earlier. Weird. Usually it's right there. Huh. It's like maybe it fell on the floor somewhere. Wait, is that it? Wait a minute, that's not it. Dang it. I'm looking for a white here. Well, I wish you luck, man, but I don't know if this is the right place. Oh, here's a little bit of kind of rouge-ish. Okay. Oh, this is different. Okay, okay, cool. It's two of them. Excellent, excellent. Okay. So, all right. They're kind of similar, all the tones here, but I can just add a little more color to the cheeks and knees and elbows if I want to, and it makes the doll look a little more expensive. This is all paint for, you know, decorating the dolls. This is packing material. Wonder if it's over here with one of my other crap. Oh, there's my sunglasses I've been looking for. Yeah, man. Look at this cool doll I got. Yeah, I know. I collect dolls. I collect Barbies. I like the holiday editions. I assume that maybe someday they'll become more valuable, but she's pretty. She's got a metallic looking dress. Oh, and look at this holiday Barbie I got. Look at this one. This one's even prettier. Look at her dress and the earrings. So pretty. Gorgeous. So pretty. A lot of them have red dresses. I'd like to find one with an emerald green dress too, or an amber colored dress would be pretty, or a sapphire dress. Yeah, I'm a freaking sucker for dolls. I used to have a what are they called? I used to have a little organizer, that with wheels for my Barbie dolls when I was a little girl, and I can find this Barbie on eBay actually from the early 2000s or 90s, late 90s. And it's like a kitty litter Barbie. I found the exact one. It gave me so much nostalgia because I love this doll so much. And I'd take it to the cul-de-sac and show all my friends. I couldn't believe I found that doll. And but one Barbie I cannot find to save my life is this I think I remember referring to it as a Russian Barbie when I was a kid. She had this um almost like a white fur around trim and a satin gown with a big frock coat, and she's just so pretty. I cannot find that one at all. It's don't know if I'll ever find it. Put it right there like so. There we go. You can be right like that. Okay, yeah, inside there. And I like those My Scene dolls too. Those are really cool. Those My Scene dolls from 2002 can get up to a couple $100 actually. So I assume maybe someday when these become a rare collector's item, I might be able to sell some of them. That's why I don't open the boxes because they might become more valuable someday. Hey, diary, do you go to AA or NA meetings? That might not be a bad idea, but no, not now. I used to. I used to. I used to go to this place that was really close to my cafe, and a lot of those people used to go to the cafe to get a coffee from me and then go to their meeting or whatever. And there was this one person who always treated me nicely. She was just always really sweet. And then when she learned that I voted for Trump, she'd we when she'd pass me on the street after I got out of the cafe, she'd come up as she's passing us, Shando and me, my dog and me, and she'd just be all sweet to my dog. Hi, Shando, but then just ignore me, treat me like I'm not even there. Like that's how, and it wasn't just her; it was several people there. Of course, because you have a lot of hive-minded people. But yeah, I have to find a different place probably because I got a bad vibe there. Um, yeah. There are other places. I should look into it. It wouldn't be a bad idea. A lot of people, another thing is that like a lot of people don't seem like they want to be there. They're like forced to be there, and that's not a good vibe either, I must say. You know? But those are usually the people in the back. You got people in the front who are super inspiring, always have something to share, always, you know, chin up, glowing, showing everybody that we do recover, showing everybody that there's so much beauty in life, so much hope, so much promise and joy to be found, you know. I've known people like that too. I wish there were more people like that in those groups. It's kind of the same thing with outpatient. I went to outpatient meetings and there were people there who were really cool and really applied themselves to recovery and helping other people in the group and inspiring others. But then you had people who were the complete opposite. They were forced to be there. They joked around, pretty much virtually slapping the counselor in the face with their words, trying to troll other people. And there's this one guy who go behind the building and start using, and I unfortunately had to tell on him. I don't like being that person. I don't like being a rat. I know how that, and I would hate that person too if they ratted on me and I was an addict, I mean, I know I know how it feels being an addict, but at the same time, you're endangering other people, and that person probably wants for one of us to come over and be like, "Hey, you know what? Can I have some?" You know? Yeah, so yeah, it's awkward. I don't got to be careful about that. Fortunately, no one ever mentioned me by name. I don't think they ever would do that, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous for everybody else in the group who's trying to get better. In fact, I was so early in my recovery, not even clean for a year, and it was tempting me, you know? So I just yeah, don't like to be that person, but it is what it is. I'd rather do that than have someone relapse because of someone else's selfish decision. And if you're going to go do that, don't do it here where people are trying to heal, where people are trying with all their might, with every ounce of grit in their bones are trying to get clean and stay clean, and this person is just like, who cares, addiction just warps our sense of morality. Sometimes it makes us selfish, it makes us desperate, it causes people to steal. I knew someone who so I had a friend who passed away in 2019. She was one of the co-managers of the cafe I worked at. She was awesome. I have a portrait of her. She was awesome. She used to ride motor Harley Davidson motorcycles with the Hells Angels in Alaska. No, she was cool, man. This woman was a badass. Anyway, so her one of her sons, she 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 had pancreatic cancer stage 4, so she was basically fucked. Okay. And that's how she passed away. And she looked really sick on her deathbed. Okay. Like her arm was about yay circumference. And her son stole her freaking medication, her cancer medication, like, because he's an addict. And I don't think I'd do something like that even if I was an addict, but it's hard to say when you're that desperate. Like, I can't imagine doing that though. Like, but yeah, I mean, addicts will go to crazy lengths to get their high, crazy lengths. And I'm so grateful I'm not in that situation anymore where I'm desperate, where I'm so desperate to get that high that's going to last me a day. And then I'm going to need to scrape up whatever penny I have or beg for a freebie or you know, there's also that possibility that your dealer is not even going to show up and then you're going to be dope sick. I remember I would traverse across the icy street like I remember when it was like January, February, and it was ice. Just the streets were covered in ice. And I was so desperate, but dope sick too. Even when I was dope sick, I traveled all the way from my apartment to my dealer's place as soon as they had gotten home from work so that I could buy some. I was just desperate. So it's crazy and it's hard to say what you'll do in that situation. Thank you very much for the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, George. I love the laughing disco. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. And thank you for the floating heart, Alex. The laughing disco is so cute too. Okay, I'm just looking for that one photo of my friend here. She was cool. Oh, I'm not her type. Okay. Ah, what was that? Good grief, man. Everything. Okay, it's just a picture frame. It's okay. Oh my god. How do I open this without breaking it? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Certainly don't want to break this box because it belonged to my grandma, so I'm being careful. Here's here's that uh photo of my friend, my late friend on her motorcycle. Her name was Robin. You see? And she was so cool. She was really nice. Miss her. You know. Ay, okay. All right. SpongeBob. Recommend listening to Asia Don't Cry. Okay. Sure, I'll write that down. I'll listen to that when I'm done live streaming, okay? Just don't want to get copyrighted is all, but yeah, I'll write that down right now. Asia Don't Cry. Okay. Thank you. I love getting recommendations from you guys. Thank you. Thank you, SLVRM. Thank you very much. Or Silverum. Silverum. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not a dentist. Thank you very much. Feels a lot better, man. Oh, oh, I can breathe now. It's not all just irritating on my neck. It feels weird. I mean, it's just super irritable to me in this hot summer. That feeling that sweaty hair on my neck. I don't like it. Also, I feel like I'm one of the very few women out there who just looks better with shorter hair. You know what I mean? Like some women look better with long hair, some look better with short hair. I think I look a lot better with short hair, which thank goodness, because I have a really hard time growing my hair out. And I don't like the feeling of it either, unless it's like maybe I'd like it better if it were like down to here and it were nice and even, look the way it should, but it takes forever. It's like it plateaus. Is it hot weather where you are? Yeah, a little bit. It's like 80 degrees today. 80 degrees, and we're not used to that high temperature. Nah, grow it back out. You look like a dude. Oh, shut the fudge up, dude. That's stupid. I do not look like a dude. This is like Marilyn Monroe's length. See this? That guys don't have typically have hair like this. This is not a dude's haircut. I saw this photo of Marilyn Monroe next to another photo of Marilyn Monroe. And this is what made me decide to get my hair cut short. Finally, it gave me the green light. I was on the fence because I've been investing and trying to get my hair long. But I saw Marilyn Monroe with her iconic hair, like kind of curlier than mine, but like kind of this length, next to a photo of her, an AI photo of her with long hair. And everyone thought she looked hotter with the short hair. Everyone liked her better with the short hair. And I thought, you know what? Shit. I think I look better with short hair too. So I'm just going to go do it because it feels better, because it's nicer. I do not look like a dude. Shut the F up. It's almost 60 degrees out there. That sounds nice, actually. I like 60 degrees. Yeah. I think my favorite season's October all the way. I like Halloween weather. I like that crisp crisp, cool weather where the leaves are just turning color, and we have the apples that are in season. Caramel apples are in style. Uh, Fuzzy sweaters and jeans. I love that weather. And I like summer too, but only when I get to go places where the weather's pleasant, like the beach. If it's going to be 90 or 80 degrees here, then the beach is going to be between 65 and 75 degrees, which is perfect. Yeah. In the summertime, I want to be able to go hiking, go out where it's nice and cool in the woods, or go to the coast. But if I'm stuck, like I was at the cafe where there's no AC, there was no AC at that cafe, man. We had a broken ass fan, but it did nothing. Did nothing. And then in the winter time, it was bone chilling cold. Yeah, it was a bit of a. My boss never really invested in that sort of thing in the cafe, which kind of sucked. 74 degrees now here in Clearwater, Florida. That's perfect. That is perfect, man. It's crazy that it's nicer and cooler in Florida now than it is here. Or I mean, yeah, I mean, what time is it over there? That certainly matters. It's getting a little late here, so it's definitely a little bit cooler than it was earlier. Yeah, I mean, it's not common to see a mid-chin dimple like that, but I'm okay with it. A lot of people like it, so I mean, I'm fine with it too. I don't feel insecure about it like I did when I was a little kid. I had a couple people bully me over that, but it's like whatever. It's fine. Gives me a unique characteristic. Gives character, and I'm fine with that. I know for a fact though, if some caricature artist were to draw me, they'd certainly do my chin no favors. Yeah, those caricature artists, they sit on the city corner, or like in a market or somewhere, and they have someone pay them to draw a caricature of them. And like, say you have a rounder cheeks, they'll make your cheeks super big. Or if you have a 5 head, they'll make you have a 10 head. Or if you've got bigger lips, duck lips or whatever, they'll make you like huge. Or if you got a big nose, they'll make that nose huge. Or if you got big eyelashes. They'll even make the eyelashes like, like super, super exaggerated, dude. They turn my chin into Crater Lake. They turn my chin into Nyiragongo volcano. They they would turn my chin into the depths of hell. I love Lincoln Park. Actually, I sold a commission of Chester Bennington. That was my first commission I sold while live streaming here. Actually, I love Chester Bennington. I was actually singing Lincoln Park in the shower this morning. I was singing Lincoln Park and Bob Dylan and the Beatles while I was showering this morning. I become so numb. Na, 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 na. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. I just became a teen and I love retro stuff. No, seriously, man? Okay. Well, I mean, you're welcome here, but just so you know, this is kind of mature content. What is it with showers and singing? It gets everyone. Yeah, I don't know. I used to be kind of shy about it though, like, cause I live like I have a lot of people in my family, and I used to think people would like judge me or make fun of me, but I'm just like, okay, why am I embarrassed over that, dude? Like, the thing is, I don't like drawing attention like that when I'm doing something like that. It's kind of a private situation, but like, yeah, I like to sing in the shower. Fuck it. Mm. Distracting, reacting against my will. I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting. Now I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. I felt this way before. So insecure. Okay, my throat hurts already. I can't sing to save my damn life, dude. I couldn't even sing if I tried it. I wasn't even trying there, but can't sing. I can't. I shouldn't say I can't, but like I can't. It's not my strong suit. There's some people who can naturally sing really good, and granted, I've never taken singing lessons, but I don't think I ever could. Curious, when subscribers join live, can you see the person for an instance? No, actually, I can't. I can't see any of you, unfortunately. It's probably good that I can't hear anyone, though, because imagine what the trolls would be doing if I could hear everyone and how chaotic that would be. I don't think yeah. I think I'd go mad if everyone were talking at the same time. Have you done any psychology? I don't know. That's a pretty broad term, man. I don't know what you're talking about there exactly. Psychology. What do you mean? Have I ever studied psychology? Have I ever been to a psychologist? Have I ever delved into the psychology of my mindset? I don't know. I do like I like psychology. I think it's interesting. It's sometimes it's a little uncertain though, it's a little some people think it's a bit of a pseudoscience, but I think it's one of those things that's constantly changing. We're constantly figuring out more more about it, or we're revising what we used to think regarding psychology. It's an interesting field for sure. I'm going to sleep. Nice talking to you. I'll sub. Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you very much. You're, and welcome to the channel. You have a good night, okay? Fun fact, Lincoln Park makes me stop crying when I'm sad. Nice. And the sun will set for you. The sun will set for you. And the shadow of the day will embrace the world in gray. And the sun will set for you. Rawr. What is rawr? Is that slang from the Scene Kids back in 2009? 2008, 2007. I remember those days. Punk rock slash emo. Emo lingo, yeah. Rawr. Well, at least it's better than some of the lingo we have these days. That's probably just me getting old. You know how when you get old, you get more and more annoyed by what the kids are saying? Like, I mean, I don't think Riz is that bad. I think Riz is pretty funny. Like, charisma, Riz. Makes sense, actually. Riz and someone up. I actually like that one. But there's certain others that just sound stupid. For real, like the brain rot. Yeah. 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 Like the 6'7" shit. I hate that. I despise it. 6'7", like, dude, like, Skibbity, the toilet dude. Fuck that shit. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like poor Gen Alpha. Poor Gen Alpha, man. Yeah, if I have kids, I'm gonna for the first 5 years of their life, there's gonna be no screens for them. No, not even 5 years. They're not gonna have a phone until they're like 16 years old, okay? They're not gonna have a phone until they're in high school. I'm not gonna let them have a phone during the most formative years of their life as their brain's developing, you know? We can have TV. We can watch Nickelodeon and SpongeBob and all that. We can do things that are age appropriate, watch cartoons, learn how to cook, learn how to do things, homeschool them. Give them a social outlet so that they make good friends. But you gotta be careful about what friends they make these days because like kids want to have what their friends have, and like I had a lot of siblings, and I know what it's like. I know like what happens when kids get their way a little too soon with things, and then they mature too quickly, and then you lose your childhood, and then when you're older you wish you had it. You wish you had that childhood. That's just wisdom on my part. So yeah, if I ever have kids, I hope I do someday. I'm gonna make sure that they get to have a normal childhood without their faces being buried in a screen. It causes anxiety, causes insecurity. You know, it's not good for their brain constantly being buried in that blue light. Yeah, it's just not good, man. Not good when their brains are developing. Give them books. When I was a little kid, we used to have silent reading hour. We used to all sit in the living room and read books. I loved that. And we'd have read alouds too. So I love read alouds. Even though, I'm a little bit dyslexic, sometimes I skip words a little bit or read words wrong, then I have to reread them. But that's okay. That usually only happens when I'm tired too. I get better and better the more I do that. Just one of those things you have to practice. I think reading aloud is a skill. A lot of people don't read aloud that well. I remember when I go to these groups where we had to read a section of this prompt all around the room. It was like whatever we were talking about that day, there'd be a whole column about it where we'd take turns reading about it and or whatever. And I remember thinking, like, even in school, even in college, when people would read aloud, I thought, man, I thought I sucked. But some people sound like they never, ever, ever, ever read. Like, they have a really hard time. Which, it's no shame or anything like that. I mean, I'm not the best at reading out loud, but I was kind of, made me feel better about myself. I'll just say that. It made me feel better about myself seeing that other people struggle with that sort of thing and not just me. Kind of getting the rhythm kind of choppy and mispronouncing most words and stuttering constantly. I have that issue sometimes depending on the day. Hey, hi, Aishoru. Hi, Duncan. Good morning to you, man. It is 10 o'clock here. Yeah, my attention is shot hard to read. Good for writing somehow. Yeah, I'm the same way these days. I'm the same way these days, man. I have a hard time getting myself to focus on something like that, but I'm pretty good with writing. Creative writing is really good because the moment you start just writing randomly, ideas just pop into your head and it just starts to flow more easily. I love creative writing. It's a good exercise just for fun. We should try it. It's a good thing to have and leave this childish love to Lincoln Park and get interested in earning moolah. What are you talking about? What's so childish about liking Lincoln Park, dude? I am making money. I'm selling paintings, dude. I just made a third commission. Oh, and by the way, let me share my information in case anyone would like to give me a fourth commission. By the way, it's also first come, first serve. I'm working on I've just finished one of them, so it'll be easier for me to start another one here. Let's see. God, Dusty. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for becoming a member. Sent one Breaking Habits gift memberships. Thank you, Duncan. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, what a hater. The heck? Nothing wrong with Lincoln Park, unless you're talking about me. I'm not a hater. I become so numb. What do you guys think of Jay-Z? Do you think he's worse than Diddy? You think he's got big old skeletons in his closet? Hmm. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'll get distracted. Let's see. Share that in. Oh, no, not YouTube Studio. YouTube.com. YouTube.com. YouTube. YouTube. Go away. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Blair White just posted a video 5 hours ago that I need to watch. The Cringe Queen, aka Billie Eilish. The woke performative final boss. Dude, I wish I could watch Blair White videos with you guys, but I'm gonna get copyrighted if I do that probably. I love Blair White. Love her. She's got integrity. She's real. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Ooh, I can see my profile in the screen. My hair does look nice. Let's see. Okay. And then my Instagram, you can find a lot of my art on my Instagram, by the way. Oh, 1 sec, 1 second. All right. Near me. Buddy. Ow. Skins. All right. Oh, okay. And then my Discord, in case anyone wants to join my server. He is. Hey, how goes the arc? Hi, Duncan. It's going great, actually. I'm working on a few commissions right now. I got a new one. Okay, let's see. It's Emerald underscore wing underscore 13473. And also I'm gonna do a portrait of Winston Churchill, and let's see, they want for it to be in the style of those composers that I had commissioned my brother. Let me show you those. Okay, now that's pinned, right? There we go. It's pinned in the chat. Here, let me show you what style it'll be in the Winston Churchill one. And it'll be in this style, Winston Churchill. I'm really looking forward to it. I know I look forward to all my pins at this part. There we go. That's the style Winston Churchill will be in. Okay. Have you ever heard I got drunk at Chuck E. Cheese by Weird Paul? No, dude. Oh my, that must have been interesting. What's that supposed to be about, baby? Go free up your vibes, stop acting crazy. Okay. You don't know me, man. Who's acting crazy? You seem a little off your rocker, dude. Don't even. What are you doing at my what? If you're telling me to stop being crazy and get a life, why don't you just get off my live stream and get a life? What are you doing here? I'm actually kind of inspiring people with addictions to want to improve their lives. I have people constantly commenting on my videos and thanking me for my content in that regard, in that aspect. You don't know, you know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. Nothing. So don't even get off your high horse. Just discover a spice or something. I don't know. Weird. I think it was song lyrics. It's okay. It's easy to get defensive streaming. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Wait a minute. Guess the song. Okay, wait, I was responding to this guy who's like, what's that supposed to be about, baby? I'm responding to Ishank. I wasn't responding to a song. I was responding to this. Ishank Sharma said, what's that supposed to be about, baby? Go free up your vibe. Stop acting crazy, reminiscing on the good times daily. Try and pull that. Got me acting shady. Go free up your vibe. Stop acting crazy. Is that a song? Because if it is, I don't know it. I don't know that song. Is it? It does sound like a song a little bit when I read it again. But really? Because that sounds almost like what I'm doing here, kind of reminiscing over good times. Remember, we were doing that. We were reminiscing over good times here, and yeah, I don't know. Is that a song? You did not do that, Jack? I was a little bit rash there. I have too many mods as it is, and someone, I don't know who it was, behind the scenes, they were deleting and putting people in timeout left and right, and it caused a big row and people accusing each other or and vice versa in my live stream. I don't know. I'm not I like I said, I wasn't just gonna outright accuse people, but I had way too many moderators, and you have to, you know, I have to see you in my live streams a little longer in order for me to decide on that. Okay, maybe a little later I'll add you as a mod, but for now we're just gonna wait a little bit. Okay, but some people, like, they ask to be my mods just so that they can have a power trip or so that they can jeopardize my channel because they don't agree with me politically or whatever. It's like, it's nothing against you. In fact, I had to delete two or three other mods, not just you. You know, uh, Mods that I don't see their activity much at all. I don't even remember adding them. So it's no offense, man. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to figure out who's doing that. It's nothing against you, man. In fact, I didn't like having to do that, but it yeah, I mean that's not good. It's jeopardizing my channel's engagement. I got to be careful. Really, I'm sorry I had to do that, but maybe a little later on. I haven't seen you much on my live streams, but maybe if, sometime in the future, I might add you as a mod if I'm absolutely certain that everything's cool. And I hope that you don't take offense to that, man. It's nothing personal. Just, it's gets a little bit chaotic when I have too many mods. It's not even recommended. But yeah, it's 10 o'clock, guys. Look, this isn't the ghost channel. You're not going to get her to turn around, look at some invisible kid that's behind her. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what, what people are thinking. But yeah, I'm not out to try to insult people or I'm grateful if you want to help me out, help my channel. But I need, my general rule, and I was being really rash then. My general rule is that I wait until I get to know you a little bit more on as you engage in the chat of my live stream, I get to, I get a sense of what your intentions are after a while, or what your loyalty is to me, or what your intentions are. And yeah, some people don't have good intentions. I'm not saying you don't per se, but that's the reason why I need to give it a little bit of time before I decide on something like that. Just be you. Your frequency is what brings people in. Let that flow. Thank you, Adam. Absolutely. Yeah, I need to be more consistent for sure. I've been going live since mid-January. Not much. Mid-January. And you know what? I started making a recovery channel, being consistent, actually posting videos and stuff. Um I started doing that early in my recovery for a couple years or so, a year and a half, and I was pretty good and consistent. Not, I mean, my videos, shorts got a lot of views, considering how early I was, how new I am. Videos didn't. I made 422 subscribers in like 2.5 years. Then come January, January 2026, this year, and I started live streaming. And suddenly, as of today, I've gone from 422 to 6,600. No, no, sorry, no. I think I have 6,800 maybe. I'm not sure. I have to double check. Let me see. Yeah, I have a lot more now. Like 6,000. Yeah, I have 6,000. I think I have 6,800. Let me see. It's crazy. Early on, I wasn't even able to live stream. Like, I don't know when they gave me the green light or allowed me to access live streaming, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool that I can do that now because it's really helping my channel. Um, it's really helping my channel here. Let's see. YouTube Studio. Dun, 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 dun. Hmm. Oh, there it is. I know that's not. I'm looking for it. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, Shamdo's sleepy and he wanted Mubber to cuddle with him. Just 1 second, baby. Just 1 second. 1 second. YouTube, YouTubestudio.com. I thought I downloaded the damn app. What the heck? Wait, let's see. Search. There we go. There we go. Gosh, I gotta verify myself again? Fine. Weird. I have to keep doing this. There we go. Thank God. No, I was wrong. 6,421. I don't know why I thought 800. I wish. Yeah, 6,000. That's still good though. Not, I mean, the momentum isn't as good as it was in February, granted, but it's fine. Man, 6,421. God, though, my subscriber count every day and my revenue have both gone down. My viewers are up always, always. Watch time is always up. But yeah, my revenue's down and my subscriber count is down. I used to make like 100 subscribers plus per day in February. No kidding. And now it's like on average between 15 and 30. Granted, the other day I made 80 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I'm really grateful for that. And welcome to the channel. Yeah. So please subscribe, people. It'd be much appreciated. I'm definitely not Gen Z. I'm a millennial. I'm 35 years old. Nothing against Gen Z. I'm just not Gen Z. I'm a millennial. I'm an older millennial, in fact. Yes, thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Jack. Yes, please like the screen before leaving. Thank you, Ganchi. It feels a lot nicer. Feels a lot more comfortable and just it just feels more me, you know? I've always this has always been sort of my hairdo. I'm 35, born in 91, February 91. Yes, I did, Jack. Yeah, I did solve the moderator problem. I was able to log in on my laptop and I deleted some of the moderators that that I never see ever. And one of the moderators that I added without really getting to know them, you know? I need to get to know you a little bit. I need to see their engagement on my live stream for a little longer before I give them such a designation, It's kind of important because they have a little power in their hands to disrupt the engagement if they wanted, Like if someone decided they didn't like me because of whatever, my political views, whatever, they could just start going crazy, just to spite me. I'm not saying Jack Skellington's doing it. I'm not, I had to delete two others that I hardly ever see them here. So yeah, mm, Jack Skellington, if you're still here, uh, you're more than welcome to my channel. And maybe I'll add you as a moderator later, but now's not a good time. And in fact, I have enough moderation here as it is. My favorite song by the Bee Gees is I Started a Joke. I like the Bee Gees. I used to pray to aliens to probe my eardrums. I want to hear the pulse slide down my ear canal. Wow. Mm, do I like Has Been Hotel? Are you talking about that cartoon? Yeah, oh, yeah, I do. It has really good musical numbers, dude. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I watched it. I watched it on YouTube. Has Been Hotel. I think that's the one. I loved it, dude. I love that cartoon. Let's see. You're a loser, baby, a loser and confuser, and you're da, 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 da. We got company. This has such good musical numbers. Very impressive. Mhm, mm, 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 mm. You're a Loser is a great song. It is, dude. It's one of the best. I like that one, and I need to watch that again because I'm forgetting, but they had two good ones. They had two really good ones. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. And I'm just gonna put on my headphones because I don't want to get copyrighted. Gonna try to sing along if I can. And it's been like a couple of years since I've seen that. Come on.
Ew, battery low, huh? Make sure this is connected though. Let's see. Bluetooth. Oops. Yeah. Oh, come on. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get back. Uh-oh. I think I fucked it up. I might want to charge my mouse here. Let's see. Weird. Weird. Guess I'll take this on. I got an appetite for gambling. I got an appetite for. Okay. I forgot. Okay. see if I can. Oh, there we go. Now I got that to work. Okay. Let's see. I need to charge that thing probably. New devices. There we go. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There we go. Connect. 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 I have an appetite for something every food that's what I can find. Dude. Okay, can't connect. What do you mean? What is it? I think it's conflicting with my phone or something. That's the thing about these headphones, man. It's like, come on, connect, connect. Couldn't connect my ass. Couldn't connect my ass. Oh, I see. Come on, just connect. Be nice. Do me a favor and connect. No, it's not gonna. Oh, bitch. Let's see if I can find it. That's good. I also heard Hell of a Boss was really good, but I haven't even seen that one. I've I, I've talked to people who actually liked Hell of a Boss a lot better. A lot more, I mean. Come on, connect. Bitch. Bitch. Okay, it's not gonna do that. Okay, fine then. Be that way. YouTube. Okay. Let me look it up. I need to charge this anyway.
I think when it's connected to my phone, I can't even get it to work with my laptop. So I have to like disconnect it from my phone before I connect it to this. Has been hotel. Too bad it'll get copyrighted. Yeah. Has been hotel in order, all episodes. Yeah, dude, like you can watch all of it on YouTube basically. Oh man, I like dude, they have one of my favorite voice artists in this cartoon and I'm forgetting the name unfortunately cuz well it's been so long but it's the guy who sang Hell is forever whether you like it or not. I just love the way the way he sings. I love that guy's voice. There's a ruler black and white, there's no use in trying to fight it. Yeah, my favorite character was the guy with four arms. You know, the guy who was like kind of like forced to do cornos. Remember that guy? He's also in the Loser song. Extermination song. Angel Dust. Yeah, I loved Angel Dust. Oops. Yeah, it's like my favorite character for sure. I found him to be like the most relatable character in the whole show. The main character kind of I don't know, I kind of found her a little bit boring. She kind of reminds me of like Taylor Swift or something. I don't know. I mean, she's okay. She's okay. She's not bad. Thank you, Duncan. Yes, please like and subscribe, everyone. It's much appreciated. Yeah. That TV show actually made me more religious, weirdly. I never really was until then. That's crazy, man. That's pretty cool, actually. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that is awesome. I can kind of see that too, you know? Do I like the rapper Daddy Yankee? I've never even heard of them, to be honest. I do like listening to hip hop, but I've never heard of them. My favorite hip hop group is Jurassic 5. We're rocking shots, but not fire through the Hindenburg. We're taking it. We'll take it back to the concrete streets. Original beats with real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat tricks. Just that classic rap shit from Jurassic. I love Jurassic 5, dude. Their lyrics are just so rich and full of references. You know what I love about hip hop? Good hip hop. They're they give you from beginning to end a clever story filled with references that you can look up, and you end up just learning so much from one song, or for one out from one album. You learn so much through all the references, and it's just super very clever uh lyrics that, just super dynamic. And oh, I love it. It's been a long time since I've listened to much hip hop, though. I know it's gonna start making hip hop music. I'm gonna start making hip hop music. I'm working on a few tracks. That's awesome, man. Oh, whenever you complete a song or an album, I would love to listen and I'd love to play your music on my live stream. If you ever download it on YouTube, I'd love to help promote you too. I know the kids these days listen to mumble rap. It's so shit. Whatever happened to Deltron? Whatever happened to Delta Funky Homo Sapien and a tribe called Quest? Whatever happened to Nas's Illmatic album? I heard that Nas is kind of sucks now, but his original Illmatic album was super legendary, super iconic, super innovative. And whatever happened to stuff like, I do like, was it Tyler the Creator? I like him. Let me see if I got the name right. I haven't listened to much of him, what I like what I've heard. Tyler the Creator. I think it's Tyler the Creator. I like him. Oh, I like the Hilltop Hoods. The Hilltop Hoods is an Australian hip hop group. Yeah, it's Tyler the Creator. Um, hmm. Yeah. I like MF Doom and MF Grimm. No, thanks, John, but no. How so what? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Sorry. My big brother made a fire rap beat for me without even crying or trying, I think. That's pretty cool. And I like Eminem too. Who doesn't like Eminem? Eminem really inspired me when I was trying to recover too. I listened to his recovery album. I think it's called Recovery. That album. I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. We'll walk this way together through the storm, whatever weather, right or wrong, cold or warm. Said you know that you're not alone. Holler if you feel like you've been down the same road. But I just can't keep feeling this way. So we're starting today. I'm breaking out of this cage. And his album Relapse is pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, if you're struggling with addiction, that album is so inspiring. Eminem said that jogging and exercise really helped him out. Yeah, I picked it up. I know, I love Eminem. I was popular in 5th grade for singing Eminem and dressing up like him. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I don't blame you. He's cool. He's definitely someone that a lot of people like to replicate because he's got style. Rage Against the Machine, 311, Eminem, Deep. I mean, we grew up on all that. Yeah, that's all good stuff. Yeah, I love Led Zeppelin too. Yeah, I'm not Gen Z, but thank you. No, I'm a older millennial. I'm 35. Turned 35 in February. I know. I know. I'm old. Not really. Some people think that's old, but it really isn't. When I'm 50, I'm gonna wish I was 35. When I'm 50, I'm gonna wonder where it all went. When I'm 60, I'm gonna wonder where all that time went. So, I know we have only the time goes by so fast, we only have a select number of years on this earth, and I plan to make the best of it, you know. Sometimes, like, I thought to myself, what would my 10-year-old self think of adult me if they were to see me now? Even when I was an addict, I thought that, and I was like, oh, dear Lord. I think 10-year-old me would be absolutely appalled. Absolutely appalled. Because, at that age, you have dreams and aspirations, and you think, like, I'm going to be this when I grow up, and I'm going to name my kid this. I'm going to be the best, most, you know, loving spouse to my partner, and I'm going to be a big artist and all these dreams. And it just seems so full of promise. And then to see my older self, an addict, doing drugs and spending every penny I make on that shit, that's destroying my health, destroying my relationships, destroying my opportunities, this, making me lose my jobs and everything. Yeah, it's even, I'm even so desperate, I'm even sustaining nerve damage in my hands by injecting into them. It's just insane. It's insane that I would ever just do that because at the time I was so broken and I wanted to escape. It is kind of like a slow, and I know it's like I got to be careful because YouTube censor, but I, sorry, suicide yeah, it is kind of like a slow ending of oneself because you don't want to feel, you want to escape, you don't want, you just want to be numb. It's like you don't necessarily want to end it permanently. You want to live, but you don't want to feel anymore. You don't want to think anymore. You know, anxiety's a bitch too. Anyway, guys, it is 10:30. I'm gonna end the live stream soon. I know. But thank you so much for all the likes and subscriptions, guys. I very much appreciate it. Life is effed. I know where you're coming from. Stay strong. Thank you, Joe. It's also, it can also be beautiful and full of good things, full of, joy and resilience and learning and novelty. And, it's full of colors. Life can be so full of colors if we know where to look, and it can be so rich. Thank you very much, JH. Thank you for the gold coin, man. Appreciate it. F and Romery, if you ever go to any battle rap sites and you see a rapper named Ghost Rider, I love your smile that you are holding. Thank you. Thank you, Aishoru. Oops. Uh-oh. Looks like my phone's about to die too. Let me see that. Yeah, okay, 19%. Yeah, the live streaming sure does suck the battery out rapidly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, EU by Bielson. Thank you very much. 19% is high for me. It is kind of high for right now. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I'm about to end the live stream, but I really appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I do have to walk the neighbor's dog tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So I'll try to do a live stream earlier in the day, but we'll play it by ear. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'll probably uh post a little heads up, get to YouTube, just a word post, and yeah, we'll play it by ear. Okay. I'll join your Discord. I'm lazy though, but I will at some. I get it, man. I mean, with me, I get distracted and I forget, but yeah, I appreciate it. Again, it is pinned in the chat. I'm sure you can see that. Thank you, user. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Thank you for the donation. So one day when I finish a rap song, I will let you know so you can listen to it. Absolutely. I look forward to it, Ethan. Thank you. Yes, and please don't forget to subscribe. I do stream pretty much every day, most days. Yeah. I very kind of rarely take a day off. There was a period where I took like 3 days off, and that was like the longest break I've taken, which, was very rare. Yeah, I do. I do. And I'm trying to get back into doing it more frequently like before. Mm-hmm. Yep. Every day. Every day. Or at least I try to. Sometimes I don't. And I'll let you guys know if I'm not gonna do it too. I'm gonna try to be more on top of giving you guys updates as to what my plans are here. Your hair turned out great. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you, Pastry. You were excellent. Thank you, user. Maya Hawk. Oh, you mean Uma Thurman's daughter? Oh, thank you. She's beautiful. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's gorgeous. I don't think I'm as pretty as her, but thank you. So one day when okay. Thank you. What time do I stream at? Geesh, that's kind of sporadic. I would say since I'm gonna be taking the dogs for a walk tomorrow, maybe noonish. Okay, noonish sounds good. Between noon and 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. I know, right? Seriously, guy. I don't think I'm masculine. Why do you think I'm masculine? Because I don't fit into a specific box, or I don't look like Kim Kardashian or what? Like I don't have a huge tatas. Like, oh, whatever. Who cares? All right, guys. Peace out. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow around noonish, between noon and 1. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I shouldn't listen to that jazz whatsoever. You're right. God bless you too. God bless all of you. In fact, speaking of which, let's read one Bible verse before I head out. All right. I have this really cool Bible bookmark. It's magnetic. It was custom made. I could choose any color and any etching, and I chose the cross. I thought the cross looked the coolest, and they had different designs. They had like heart, or I liked the cross though. All right, let's read one Bible verse, okay? Let's see what I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? How about something from Matthew or Luke? Matthew. Okay, how about Mark actually? Mark chapter 12, verse 24 to 25. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you receive it and you will. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. And how about this one? Chapter 12, verse 30 to 31. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. So like reading, how about we'll read 5. Okay, we'll read 5 verses here. Okay, so how about Luke chapter 15, verse 7? Just so I tell you, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance. I love that one. Now, how about John chapter 16, verse 22? So you have sorrow now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take your joy away from you. And one more. Wait a minute, I might do 2 more. I think there was only 3. Okay, here's a good one. Romans chapter 5, verse 3 to 5. More than that, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Romans chapter 8, verse 38 to 39. For I am sure that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God and Christ Jesus our Lord. One more. Chapter 12, verse 19 down to 21. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. No, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him drink. For by doing, you will heap burning coals upon his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Excellent. Okay. Okay, Ezekiel. Okay. Guys, everyone's asking me for verses now. Okay. Okay. We'll just do those ones, okay? Ephesians 6, chapter 6. Okay, fine. Twist my arm. Ephesians. I don't read Ephesians all that often, so I'm forgetting where it is now. I think it might be New Testament, actually. Oh, there it is. Ephesians chapter 6. Well, I'm not going to read a whole chapter unless it's super short right now. Let's see. Chapter 6 of Ephesians. That's. How about this one? I'll just read it. I'll read chapter 6, verse 11, okay? It's a good one. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right. And Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 20. I like that one. That's where we can find that Pulp Fiction verse. Ezekiel. Here we go. 8:15. There we go. Chapter 23, verse 20. This is the last one, guys. 23, verse 20. There we go. All right. And doted upon her paramours there, whose members were like those of asses, and whose issue was like that of horses. 23, verse 20. Yep. There we go. Thanks, guys. I love it when you guys give me Bible verses to read, suggestions, requests. All right. Take care, everyone. Later now. Bye bye. And thank you.